What's up, everybody? Trinity here. Welcome back to Second Street. Let's get right into today's video where we are talking about the Absolute Comics Group. This is a new publishing company that has been around for just a little while, and they have a handful of comic books that has just hit the shelves. Now, before I get too far into that, I want to give a huge shout out and say thank you to Benny Powell, who is one of the creators here at the Absolute Comics Group. I did a review not too long ago reviewing White Widow, and they sent me out some PDF copies of issues 1 through 3 to review here for the channel, as I only had issues 2 and 3. And then not too long ago, towards the beginning, I don't know, the middle of 2020, in June, he reached out to me again and sent me out a handful of PDFs, review copies of a handful of these titles that they have just recently released. And I want to say thank you to Benny Powell and all the people over there at the Absolute Comics Group for that. Now, I just want to say that as a part of a full disclosure, because I do want to say also thank you so much, because they reached out to me in a time when I have been feeling less and less enticed by some of the mainstream superhero comic books that I have been reading, starting to lose just a little bit of interest in that. I'm needing some new stories, some new characters, something to freshen it up. And they reached out to me. I'm not really anybody. I'm just here, somebody on YouTube with a YouTube channel. I've got a camera and a microphone, and I make videos about the things that I enjoy. They absolutely did not have to send these things out to me, but they did. And at a time when just here a handful of months later, I'm really starting to look at things, and I'm wanting to put my money into other creators and just other books. And it was just a huge, looking back on it, it's just a huge thank you to them for welcoming me in to their world of the Absolute Comics Group. And as you're going to see as I talk here through the course of this video, that I really do have a great appreciation for these books, and definitely to Benny for reaching out to me and sending me these copies and getting me into this universe. I really do thank you so much for that. Now, I also say that to let you guys know, watching this video here, that he did send me out these copies, and I did go out and buy all of those most of those books that he sent me PDF copies of, because I really did enjoy these books, and I want to talk about them. And I have since gone out and bought some of the new series and even the number 2s of these same books. So he didn't just send them to me for free. This isn't just like a free plug. I have actually paid for these books. Went to my LCS and picked these up, where you can have them ordered as well. Or you can even go to their website, which is absolutecomics.net. I think it's absolutecomicsgroup.net. I will leave a link pinned in the comments section here on this video for you to go check out. But let's get right into the comic books that the Absolute Comics Group has been putting out. Let's start right off the top with their flagship title, which is White Widow. This book right here, this is issue number 1. This is a variant cover that I got sent to me by a good friend of the channel. Two Gun Pedro sent this out to me. And what this story is about, this is their flagship character. This is the first one that was kicking off the Absolute Comics Group world, though it is not really technically the first in this shared universe of the Absolute Comics Group, which is what the Absolute Comics Group is. This was their flagship title, White Widow. Now, White Widow is a character named Gabby Garcia, who was injected with these nanobots, and she now has a nanosuit. Now, this all came to be because she had a debilitating illness. She had a genetic defect, or a genetic, something wrong with her genetic structure, and her parents, when she was a child, gave her something to hopefully help her heal herself. And we see that she had some issues with that. Her parents are working for this shadow organization, and after she got injected with these nanobots and now has this nanosuit, she is being tracked down by this organization. And that's what she is going out to do, is try to solve the mystery of her parents' death and the people responsible for that. And that's what we've seen over the course of this series. This series is 5 issues in already. This is issue number 1. Got again this issue number 2 right there. This is again one of those variant covers that Two Gun Pedro sent me. Just beautiful stuff. This right here is the issue number 2 that I picked up at my LCS, the first comic book that I bought from the Absolute Comics group. Just great stuff. And this is issue number 3, the retail variant that you can find on it. And then also another one that my man Two Gun Pedro sent me out here, variant cover of White Widow, issue number 3. Then we've got issue number 4. These are the LCS copies right there. And then issue number 5 that was just recently released. Now, this story is very good. I really do enjoy this one. It was created by Benny Powell and Jamie Tyndall, and I love the art in this book and the story going on here. It's very good. Like I said, it was their flagship character where they are kicking off the Absolute Comics group universe, the shared universe. And it's already had some crossovers within the White Widow series itself. And I will talk about the next one and the first one that crossed over into the White Widow universe. And that is this one right here. This one is Duel Identity. Now, this book right here is once again about another superhero named Andromeda, but she actually was in White Widow issue number 3 where she made her debut, but she is actually a double agent. She has this dual identity. She works for the company known as the Group, and she is one of their shadow agents known as Artemis. And that's kind of what we see. We get a little bit of a dive into her character here in issue number 1, and then it gets expanded in issue number 2. I will be doing individual reviews for all of these books at a later time, so stay tuned to the channel for that. Now, the next series that crossed over into the White Widow books, and that was just here after issue number 5, it just crossed over into this new series right here, and this is I Make Boys Cry, issue number 1. Now this one right here is dealing with there's like this academy where they are training these female agents to go out there and be assassins, or just these shadow groups where they are hired by governments, companies, and things like that to gather information or whatever else, whatever other kind of dirty work may need to be done. And White Widow issue number 5 crosses over here into issue number 1. I again thought this book was really good. The art in this book is very decent. Like I said, stay tuned to the channel for more videos and reviews on that. Now, the next one I want to talk about here, you know what, maybe I should talk about this next one. Maybe I should talk about this other one next. Let's go ahead and talk about, this is Darchon. Darchon is another one of these ones that's going to be crossing over into White Widow in issue number 6. Now, Darchon is he's a master of the mystical arts. He is a paranormal investigator, and he is an aspiring actor looking to cash in on his identity, if you will. And again, this story right here does tie in to White Widow issue number 6, which will be coming out, I believe, here at the end of December. As of the recording of this video, that's December of 2020. So he's kind of like, you know, like that popular guy out there, that magician guy from that one company, but he's different, very, very much different. Again, another good book that I really did enjoy the quality. They've also got this one right here, which is Wayward Legends. And this one, they do have a couple of issues out on this one as well. Now, the thing about Wayward Legends here is this book right here was actually once known as Wayward Sons Legends. This was really the first one that was the first book in the Absolute Comics Group universe. This was the original one. This was the one that kind of set the template and opened up the world. These ones are being have been kind of rewritten and republished here for the Absolute Comics Group to expand this world and introduce these characters. Now, this one, Wayward Legends, is telling the story of this alien race that are very human-like. They look like a human race, and they are sentencing some people to prison. And what happens? One thing leads to another. They get shot through this portal, and they land on Earth, and they gain these superpowers and basically become gods. And this was clear back in like the caveman days when we were just cavemen. So they were looked at and celebrated as gods. Again, this was the one that kind of really is opening up the world of the Absolute Comics Group universe. It was kind of the original one to start it all. Now that leads into the next one, which is Wayward Sons. This one right here, again, you can tell from the name, is related to the Wayward Legends series as well. In Wayward Sons, this is kind of the new generation of the Wayward Legends. These are the ancestors of the ones of all the ones that we are introduced in Wayward Legends. The kind of the passing off of the mantle of the people who are now going to defend the universe in these modern times. Now, the next one that we've got here is going to be First Defense. Now, this is issue number 2. I haven't got a physical copy of issue number 1, but this one right here is actually a series that was on a webcomic, originally published. They did some as a webcomic, and now they are continuing just along with that and tying it into this world where we are seeing that the president's firstborn children are basically brought into this program to become superheroes to help defend the United States and probably even the world against alien and supernatural threats, just different kinds of things like that. So they're just all the president's first kids becoming superheroes. Now, the last one that we're going to talk about here is going to be called Katrina. This one right here is dealing with vampires. Now, in case you know me here on the channel, I'm not really big into vampires. It's got to be a really good story if you want to get me. Well, what they've set up here in Katrina is a very good story where the kind of people in France were fooled, where they were sending their sons and their daughters here to New Orleans to kind of help liven up the French Quarter, the French district, if you will, there in New Orleans, and it's dealing with vampires, and some very cool things are happening in this book. Again, I like it, and like I said, I'm not even big into vampires. Now, they do also have some other books that I do not have here, like they have a series called Amped, which I have not read, that does tie in to the Absolute Comics Group universe that currently does have 2 issues out right now as well, and I will be getting those in soon. They also have the Absolute Flip book, I believe, yeah, the Absolute Flip book, which is 2 series in one. You know, you get it, you read it, and you flip it over, and there's another comic book in there. And the first one had Pandora's Vlogs, and I can't remember what the name of the other one was right off the top of my head, but it had 2 different stories in there, and they do have 2, Monster Isle, and is the other title, was Monster Isle. They have 2 issues of that out as well. I don't have physical copies of those. They've also got, under their Red Giant Entertainment label, which is not in the Absolute Comics universe, they have a couple of titles there for you to check out as well. Again, there will be links down in the comments section here on this video, pinned at the very top, for you to go check out more of the titles that they have to offer at the Absolute Comics Group and Red Giant Entertainment. I would highly suggest going to check it out and exploring their website, because they tell you a little bit about their comic books, and they also send you to webtoons where you can read some of these titles absolutely free. But I would highly suggest maybe even going and checking out their Kickstarter, where you can support them and the work that they are doing at the Absolute Comics Group. And you can even get digital copies from them as well, in case you don't want physical copies, in case you don't like your physical books like I enjoy my physical comic books. Hey, there's plenty of people out there that don't have the room or don't want to keep them stored in their house, and I get it. But hey, that's all up to you, but let me know what you think about this video and about all of these books right here. I'm telling you, I have like I said, a deep appreciation for the guys, Benny Powell and all the people over there at the Absolute Comics Group for putting together these books that have just beautiful art and they have great stories in them, and just everything there combined is exactly what I want and what I've been looking for, and the thing that I have been needing in this year in the time when I feel less enticed by most of the superhero comic books that I have been reading. The Absolute Comics Group comes in, swoops in with all of these amazing titles, and I would greatly appreciate it if you let me know what you think about all of these books, and let me know if you're interested in the Absolute Comics Group and what you think about these titles they have to offer after you go check them out for free on their website. That's all I have for this video today, folks. Thank you all so much for tuning into the Second Street Marvel. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe, click the little bell and all of that good stuff. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Give it a thumbs down if you don't. It's okay, I totally understand. And you know, if you do like this video and you do give it a thumbs up and you're subscribed and all that stuff, and you would like to take your support of the channel to the next level, consider becoming a channel member, one of the Murdomaniacs. And to learn more about that, you can click the join button right next to the subscribe button, or you can click the links down in the description of this video to learn a little bit more about that. Your membership does go towards helping crowd fund comic books for small independent creators. You all have a good day, and we will see you in the next video. Later.